Coach, it's the NFL on EA Sports, and there you get a look at Paul Brown Stadium on the banks of the Ohio River in Cincinnati. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Baltimore Ravens and the Cincinnati Bengals. Getting toward the halfway point of the NFL season, Week 7 is underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been had he simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. Now a play fake here on first down. Man open, that's Jaleel Scott. Powering his way forward. He's still barreling through. A big play there on the first play of the game. 58 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll be dropped at about the 11 after only a yard.
So if I'm an offensive coordinator, there's one thing that I know for sure. This is one of the top 5 teams in the NFL against the run. So when I look at my playlist, I'm probably thinking about throwing it.
In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Now let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
He may try and run for this. And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. It's a gain of 6 as they're able to convert, and now it's first and goal.
I do know that owners, when they watch their quarterbacks running with the football, they usually hold their breath because that's the franchise. But when you're getting that kind of a gain, hard to argue against calling it.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up second and goal. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
Second and goal from inside the 5. They get it to him running left. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage back to the 4-yard line. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Here we go now.
Call it no gain on the keeper, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
Brandon, this is why I'm really glad I'm sitting up here next to you. It's awfully tempting to go for it right here, isn't it? But it's been a great drive. On the road, you've got to come away with at least 3 points. Kick the field goal.
So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon, and able to stay on his feet past the 30 to about the 33-yard line. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's a 2nd and 2 now from the 33. On 2nd down, here's Mixon, and he'll be brought down right around the 37. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down, keep the sticks moving.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And he goes out right around the 39. Give him 3 on the play, and it'll make it a 2nd down.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A handoff to Mixon. And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a Bengal first down, a pickup of 11. He was solid last week, over 100 yards in their victory on the ground. They want to get that going again.
Absolutely. What they also understand is that from week to week, it's not necessarily the same, but they want it to be, right? What they saw last week on the ground, they want to see in this game as well.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
Back to Mixon on first down. Broke through some contact, but unable to reach the 40. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Gun, 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 gun.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, C.J. Mosley, there in coverage.
There are a good number of coaches at any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
It's off to the left anyway. It's no good, and this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it, and this one winds up no good.
And now here come the Ravens. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And they'll run it here. And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. They get 14 on that one. That's good for a Baltimore first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
And they'll go on the ground. And he will cross the 30 down to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 3, and it also takes us to the end of the first quarter play. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the Ravens who have the football.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. So that'll back them up 5. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. Second down and long. And now Jackson will look to throw it. Forced out to his left. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
But we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Open receiver, that's Hayden Hurst, the tight end. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. And a nice gain at 21 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They go play action here on first down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. The former Indiana Hoosier here, Tevin Coleman. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Tevin Coleman with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Ravens will extend their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. Last time out, they had that long 50-plus yard field goal that they missed.
And I'm sure on their sideline, they're thinking to themselves, okay, do we still want to try one if we're in that position again? And I would dare say that the answer would be yes. They're going to have a lot of confidence in their kicker. But just to be on the safe side, I'm sure they told their offensive guys, can we get a little bit closer this time?
Closer.
Yeah, you know, I'd rather get in the end zone first and foremost. But if all else fails, less of a field goal attempt for him.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5.
Detroit!
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Willie Henry getting in there from his defensive tackle spot to snow him under for a loss of 4. They'll set up to throw. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Now they'll run it on the toss. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down.
You don't have to be a finished product to show some pretty good glimpses of what could be in this league, and we just saw an example of it on that nice run there. When I looked at him coming out of college, I saw a guy with raw, terrific ability. I couldn't wait to see how it was going to be harnessed and polished up in the NFL. In fact, some people thought he could play a little slot receiver as well as run the football. This guy has the ability to be a big-time player with more seasoning.
5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down.
Patriot! Patriot! Gone! 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 Detroit! Detroit!
Now Jackson on second down. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
They get it to him running left. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Baltimore. A great play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens will add on to their lead. Tucker with the extra point. And that makes our score 17-0. Here's Tucker now out to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bengals getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 34. And he will score. Touchdown, Baltimore.
Partner, what we just saw, that's a great example of a team that was really amped up. They've been playing so well, yet they didn't get overexcited and have a bust on defense and gave up a big play. Instead, they created their own big play with a pick six. This one may be over.
Yeah, it's just the first half, but that lead has swelled to the point where you're wondering if it is over already. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bengals offense now, they head back onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. Call it a gain of 5, and it'll bring up a second down. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Cincinnati after this. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A very solid gain of 27.
Detroit! Detroit!
Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it, eluding the pressure right. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Now back to throw. He finds Ross right side. It's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward. A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. It's 1st and 10 from the 12. Looking to throw. His pass caught with the 4. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead.
Yeah, you heard it, right? Exhale the exhale. And I'm taking that from their bench because finally, right before the half, they find a way to get the ball in the end zone and get some points on the board. Maybe they can use that to kickstart them for the second half.
Yeah, just to get something before going into the lockers. And now in the second half, they can just tighten.
That's what they want to do. Tighten down everything they're doing, and then maybe explode at the right time.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he will find Scott on the right side complete. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
The Ravens on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. Jackson from the shotgun, buying time to his left. He can run, and it's a fumble, and the Bengals grab it. And he's able to get it back to right around the 27. They'll come out throwing here on first down. Looking for the end zone. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down. 2nd and 10 now from the 27. Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. Steps away to his left. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll get it down this time to the 17. The second half upon us sooner than we bargained for. Week 7, second half. Let's do it. So we have reached halftime here with the visiting Ravens out in front. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Bengal offense now with a football first here to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never wanted to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Back to throw now on first down. Going for the deep ball. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And running with power here. And they will finally get him as he's all the way down near the 40-yard line. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
Now it's Jackson. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a third down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Being chased out left. He may try and run for this. So no sack. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, but it'll still bring up a fourth down.
Well, the defensive guys won't be real happy because there won't be a sack on this play because he did get back to the line of scrimmage. But what a job they did overall. Hemmed him in and gave him nowhere to go with the football.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that will stretch the lead up to 3 touchdowns now. It's a 21-point game. So put another 3 on the board. All things considered, a good opening drive to begin the third quarter.
And as a defense, the way that this game is going, you're excited to see those points go on the board. Gives them a little bit of leeway to play with when they're out on the field, but they're real excited to see their offense score. Now they get to go out there and do their part.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Over the middle, the connection to Hearns. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. So second in inches after that first down completion went just shy of the marker.
Gone!
They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. He gets this in the hands of Mixon. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. No. Check, Patriots.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
He'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll slide down to avoid the contact. Maybe not exactly what they had in mind, but that scramble good for 6 and a first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into some windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. Second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
That's going to be caught by Ross for a Bengal touchdown. In for the score. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Such an art to dot the I, just get the feet in right there against the line before going out of bounds.
Such an incredibly graceful, athletic play, but also a lot of practice goes into it. They work on that to make sure that they learn how to train their feet to get down in bounds.
Bullock good on the extra point, and the lead will be cut down to 14. Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he will take this one all the way back inside the 35-yard line.
Well, whatever the relationship was between the special teams and the offense, it's gotten a heck of a lot closer after a return like that. The special teams just keep setting them up. The offense thinks they'll go out there and knock them down.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11.
Lucky 56.
On 2nd down, Jackson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call a position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
On 3rd down, it's Coleman. And he will have a 1st down at about the 21-yard line. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Nice job there finding room to maneuver, and he worked his way into another 1st down. And look, they had great field position to start, but boy, they've done a nice job taking advantage of it.
Now they're just hoping to cap it off. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I'm going to need some help with this one. How did he miss him? Wide open in the end zone. He's not hurried. He's not hit. And somehow, incomplete?
Yeah.
What happened?
During film study, that's one where he's just going to shake his head, not be able to believe it.
6 points go by the wayside on that one.
Now they try the right side here. And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10. The Ravens on 3rd down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Jackson now. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the 1st sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And that'll push the lead up to 17. So that one is his 3rd of the game. Now, if you're wondering, that's only halfway to his career high as he once had 6 field goals.
Brandon, 6? Let's hope we don't get that again, please. Can we see a few touchdowns here and there?
That'd be nice. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Now a play fake here on first down. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw. And got his man complete. And he gets all the way down to the 30-yard line. A big play there for the Bengals. 45 yards. So the big play has them all the way down to the 30 now for 1st and 10.
Gone!
They'll look to throw here on first down. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Tyler Boyd, his first touchdown on the year. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. So the quarterback drops to throw, looks over, and boom, a guy that wide open, he has to be thinking, wait a minute, this is some kind of a dream. This is too easy.
Yeah, a great dream. One you don't want to wake up from. But for the defense, almost feels like there was a bust in coverage.
This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think, at any moment, I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy.
Back now in Cincinnati. It's the Ravens in control of the football. They've also got the lead as we get set for the fourth. Play action. Now Jackson. They'll roll him out right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. He turned that into a nice gain. Gets him 8 yards closer for 3rd down.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. Coleman now. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a 1st down. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
Brandon, when a defense just simply can't get off the field on 3rd down, and we all know how important that down is for both sides of the ball, you often feel like you're just
The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Christian Covington in there to get him for what will be a loss of 13 yards. Now then, after the sack, it'll be interesting to see what they have planned for 2nd and 23. From the gun, Jackson dancing to his left. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. The Ravens on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This will be a tough 3rd and 18. They go play action with Jackson, rolling to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep left side. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Here's Lachlan Edwards now. And surprisingly, this is the first. And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. Give them an even 20 yards there on the pickup as a fake punt fooled everybody. So they snap it straight to the up man. What's his responsibility? Normally, obviously, just to protect, but he's got to be a guy that can be pretty agile too, right?
Yeah, without a doubt, because you're talking about a guy, even in protection, he may have to slide up and down the line of scrimmage to pick up someone who comes through trying to block a punt. So you know he's got that ability to move. But oftentimes it's usually a running back, a fullback, someone who's...
And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. He's picked off near his own 48, and he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line. Now, after that last play, there's a Bengal down on the field. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Detroit! Detroit!
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ross. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. A Bengal first down on the 16-yard pickup there. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll avoid the tackle there with a slide. Good coverage downfield led to him taking off, picking up the 1st down on a 13-yard run.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. They'll give it to Mixon. And he's able to find some room as they get him down after a good run. It'll be a pickup of 8 and a good first step there with 2nd and goal coming up. Good yardage on 1st down. Now can they punch it in on 2nd and goal? They'll go with a keeper. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the sneak. Kind of a wasted play there, and now it's 3rd down. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Here's Mixon. And he takes it into the end zone. Touchdown, Bengals. A great effort there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Bengals have got it back to a one-score game. Extra point up and good by Bullock. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Bullock out now to kick this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Ravens offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping to you on the other side of the ball. Said, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
And the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
And this is an absolutely big 3rd down that's been set up here, partner. And there's no other way to put it. The defense has to get a stop here if they have any hopes of winning this game.
Has to. You said big 3rd down. I'd put the word big in capital letters here. On 3rd down. That's Coleman. And he's got the first before he's brought down at the 39-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll take this up over the 40 to about the 41. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And now the Bengal defense here calling a timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important third down. The wrong way there, losing yardage back at the 43-yard line. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout as they stop it prior to what will be an important fourth down. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as he's on to punt for the first time tonight. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
They practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. A throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. This defense has watched their lead dwindle away. This is where they really need to bow up. They executed well there.
And it's often hard after you've played really well early and then you kind of relax a little bit to step on the gas again. They just did it on the last play. Looks like they want to finish this one off.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Gone!
Back to throw. And, oh, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
And that one, oh, it's going to hurt big time. You're in the 2-minute drill trying to get your guys down the field, and it's looking like they're going to go up just short, as this is definitely not his best throw. And it'll wind up being intercepted.
Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. Rolling to his right. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Jesse Bates. And he is all the way up past the 25. You got the slim lead late and the football, so why are you throwing it there?
Remember during the year when we asked one of the head coaches, if you're in this spot, why would you throw the ball? And he talked about trust in his quarterback and trust in his offense.
But still.
And then at the end he kind of went, yeah, not really a good reason.
He'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. 23 yards on the play.
Hey, you got your first down. Get up to the line of scrimmage and spike it.
Gone!
Back to throw. Forced out to his left. He's going to let it fly. This is caught inside the 15. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. They give him a gain of 38. Now there's the timeout signaled for with 2 seconds to go And the field goal unit likely trying to send this one to overtime. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. And he missed it. He missed it right. It's no good. And that's going to cost him the football game. Well, we were prepping for overtime up here in the booth, partner. Thought